Joel Embiid is starting to get underrated, and I didn't think I was going to make a pro Joel Embiid video in the middle of the offseason, but here we are. Funnier things have happened in life. So you might be asking, BSOLZ, what even is making you say this, right? And what's making me say this is this tweet from Nerd Sesh, right? And shout out to Nerd Sesh. This is no hate towards them. I think this list is actually solid. I don't even disagree with a lot of things on this list, but I do think there is a conversation to be had about Joel Embiid that needs to be had, because I think over time, he actually is going to become one of the more underrated players in NBA history until he becomes overrated, and then we'll have to adjust the pendulum. But right now, I genuinely think we are forgetting very, very quickly, very, very fast, how good peak Joel Embiid was. Because he missed all of 2025. In 2024, he only played 30, 40 games? Let me double check. Yeah, he pretty much missed all of 2025. He only played 19 games, right? Only averaged 24 points. This was not, the Embiid that we're used to. 2024 to me is, wow. Like, this to me is going to become one of the biggest what-if seasons in history that may not ever really get its respect. Because what Joel Embiid was doing before he went down was insane. After winning MVP, averaging 33, 10, and 4, he somehow came back and was having a better season than that. And that says, do you know how crazy you have to be playing? Let me solo myself. Do you know how crazy you have to be playing for a 40-game stretch to say that you're playing better than 33 and 10? That's what Joel Embiid was doing in 2024. Because in 2024, he was averaging 35, I'm rounding up, 35, 11, and 6 with 2 blocks a game on 53% shooting, 39% from 3, and 88% from the line, also getting to the line at historic rates. I think right now, SGA has gotten the term of being the foul baity guy in the league, the guy that gets to the line a lot and flops. That was Joel Embiid literally 2 seasons ago. And we're already, I feel like, forgetting that really, really fast, really, really quick. So the reason why I say this is because of this list right here. When we talk about the greatest peaks in history, Joel Embiid is not on this list. Joel Embiid is not on this list. And to be honest with you, I'm not fully mad at it. Because the reason why is because of, compared to these guys, Joel Embiid's playoff success just isn't there. And again, I think Joel Embiid would have a much stronger conversation if the 3-year peaks, because a lot of these are 3-year peaks, included 2024. But you can't really include 2024 because he only played 40 games, right? But when I look at this list, ultimately what I'm getting at, because I don't think Joel Embiid is on either of these lists, is I think Joel Embiid's peak will be respected, and maybe even his career will be respected, will be regarded very, very similar to Tracy McGrady in the 2000s. Let me explain. In the 2000s, right, when you think of all-time greats in the 2000s, you think of Kobe Bryant, Tim Duncan, Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James first, full stop. Then you get into the Dirks, then you get into the Steve Nashes, then you get into, the Jason Kidds, the Allen Iversons, that tier probably, right? Maybe I'm missing a couple names right now. My apologies. And then there's T-Mac. I think Tracy McGrady's career is very, very interesting in this regard because let me put it side by side. Because I'm looking at it right now. They are eerily similar. So if we look at it side by side, Tracy McGrady, 7-time All-Star, 7-time All-NBA, 2-time scoring champ, was most improved. Joel Embiid, 7-time All-Star, 5-time All-NBA, also a 2-time scoring champ. Embiid just has a couple more All-Defensive teams. Yeah, a couple more All-Defensive teams and an MVP to show for his success during that, 2023? But even that season, a lot of people say that Joel Embiid just got a pity MVP. Oh my goodness, here you go, because you've been begging for so fucking long. Here's your MVP, right? To be honest with you, it's not the most respected MVP in recent history. That's just what it is. But nevertheless, when it comes to Tracy McGrady, when you talk about specifically the early 2000s, right? Because, T-Mac's peak, let's keep it a stack, was in the early 2000s from 2001 to 05. Literally the early 2000s. Because after that, that's the mid 2000s. It would have to be. He was a player that was in the same conversations as a Kobe Bryant, specifically in 2003, 2004, around this range. 2001. He was in the same conversations as Kobe Bryant. And especially this offseason when we had the conversation about T-Mac and Kobe a couple months ago, is Kobe being disrespected? Because T-Mac had a quote saying, if I had Shaq, hey, we would have won at least one. And, the discourse about how, if this is disrespect, why are we disrespecting Kobe this much? But in reality, it wasn't really a dig at Kobe. It was really just talking about how good Tracy McGrady was, because the facts are the facts. Tracy McGrady from 2001, to 2003 was playing at comparable. I would even extend it to 2004. He was playing at comparable levels to the late great Kobe Bryant. So would they have three-peated with Tracy McGrady? I would bet no. But Kobe and T-Mac shared a lot of the same characteristics. They were producing at relatively similar levels. And if you replace Kobe Bryant with Tracy McGrady, I don't think it's crazy to say that they at least get one ring together. I don't think it's crazy to say that they get 2 rings together. Now, three-peating, getting 3, that's a whole different conversation. And that's where I do think Kobe separates himself. But the first conversation, I don't think is the craziest, right? And I don't want to go on a tangent about Kobe and T-Mac right here. But long story short, my main point is, during this time, the conversations around Kobe and T-Mac were real. They were on the same level. But when we talk about all-time greatness, T-Mac, Kobe Bryant. T-Mac, it's just levels to it. And I think when we look at Joel Embiid, when it comes to the 2020s, Joel Embiid is Tracy McGrady. The Kobes of this era are the Nikola Jokic's, the Giannis Antetokounmpos, the SGAs. After that, it gets kind of shaky, because I do want to throw Tatum in there, but I know a lot of y'all are going to get mad. But yeah, specifically those 3. SGA, Jokic, Giannis. Those are going to be, if I were to, Luka. I think Luka is in that conversation as well. Those are going to be the most respected players from this era. Those are probably going to be the highest ranking players from this era. And when we talk about peaks, they will also have some of the greatest peaks in history, right? And then when we look at Joel Embiid, he's not going to get the same respect of those players because he's not going to have the resume that Luka's a little bit shaky still, but specifically SGA, Giannis, and Jokic, he probably just won't have the resume that they'll end up having. But when we talk about peak for peak, we were there. Every single person that's watching this video is old enough to remember the MVP conversations from 3-4 years ago. We were there. While a lot of us did view Jokic as the better player, hey man, Embiid was doing insane things. And if you wanted to say Embiid was playing on the same level as Jokic, that shouldn't have been the craziest statement in the world. It shouldn't have. For a lot of those years, I ain't gonna lie, Giannis was like the clear third. And there were conversations about, are we sleeping on Giannis? Should he be the second best player in the league? And I think, again, that just speaks to how crazy good Joel Embiid has been playing. But I do think specifically, again, because 2024 was a short year for him. And, he doesn't have a lot of playoff success. And, his longevity, I don't think he's going to have the most insane longevity ever out of the 2020s because of his his really bad knees. And I wouldn't be surprised if we are past seeing peak Embiid. Like, I would be really, really surprised if we get a Joel Embiid that's averaging 28 plus points per game moving forward. I'd be happy if we get 26, 27, right? But yeah, I just think when it's all said and done, Joel Embiid's peak just isn't going to be as regarded as high as I think it should be because of everything that we've talked about in this video. I'm not trying to regurgitate everything that I just said. And I do think for this era, he's going to have a similar legacy to Tracy McGrady, the guy that at his peak was going band for band with the best of them, but career-wise, playoff success-wise, and that's the separator between how we view him and the rest of the crowd. But with that being said, if y'all enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Sign up for my app in the description below, man. Idea.app is my biggest project yet. Also, get ready for more videos. The NBA season is around the corner, all right? And once the NBA season comes around, I will definitely be much more active on here. I just didn't think it was worth, doing the full comeback in full force in the middle of the offseason. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm out of here. Peace.